7. Warning effects of creatine. After age 50, nobody tells you. If you're over 50 and taking creatine, or even just thinking about it, this video really matters. Creatine can be an incredible tool for strength, energy, and overall health, but your body doesn't respond the same way it did in your 20s or 30s. And that's where most confusion begins. The problem isn't that creatine is dangerous. The problem is that almost nobody explains how age changes hydration needs, recovery, digestion, and tolerance. When those things are ignored, small issues can turn into uncomfortable side effects that make people quit too early. That's why this conversation is important. Not to scare you away from creatine, but to help you understand it. When used correctly, creatine can support muscle, brain function, balance, and daily energy. When used carelessly, it can feel ineffective or uncomfortable. So today, we're breaking down 7 warning effects of creatine after age 50. These aren't horror stories or rare complications. They're common signals your body gives when something needs adjusting. Learn them, respect them, and you'll be able to use creatine smarter, safer, and with far better results. That knowledge alone can save months of frustration, wasted money, and unnecessary worry later for many people. Number 1, dehydration sneaks up faster. Here's the first thing most people don't realize, and it catches a lot of people off guard. Creatine pulls water into your muscle cells. That's actually one of the reasons it works so well. Hydrated muscles perform better, feel stronger, and recover faster. But there's a catch, especially after age 50. If you don't increase your fluid intake, dehydration can slowly sneak up on you without obvious warning signs at first. As we get older, our thirst signals aren't as sharp as they used to be. You might not feel thirsty even when your body actually needs more water. When creatine shifts water into your muscles, the rest of your body may end up slightly short. That's when subtle symptoms can appear. Things like dull headaches, low energy, dry mouth, lightheadedness, or muscle cramps. Some people even mistake these signs as creatine being bad for them, when in reality, it's just poor hydration. The good news: this warning effect is one of the easiest to fix. Creatine itself doesn't dehydrate you. Not drinking enough water does. Simply being more intentional about fluids usually solves the problem completely. Aim to sip water consistently throughout the day, not just during workouts. Adding electrolytes can help too, especially if you sweat a lot or live in a hot climate. Think of creatine like a sponge for your muscles. If there's enough water available, everything works smoothly. If there isn't, your body lets you know. Listen to those signals, hydrate properly, and this warning effect often turns into one of creatine's biggest benefits instead. Number 2, temporary weight gain can mess with your head. This is one of the most common moments where people over 50 immediately think, yep, creatine isn't for me, and stop taking it. But here's the important truth, that weight gain is almost never fat. It's water being pulled into your muscle cells, which is exactly how creatine is supposed to work. Creatine helps your muscles store more water so they can produce energy better, recover faster, and stay stronger. That extra water shows up on the scale, even though nothing negative is happening. The warning effect here isn't the weight itself. It's how misleading the scale can be. After 50, many people are already sensitive about weight changes, so seeing even a small increase can feel discouraging or alarming. But this is where understanding matters. Water inside muscle is actually protective. It supports joints, improves muscle function, and can even make muscles look firmer and healthier over time. If you judge creatine only by the scale, you're missing the bigger picture. Pay attention to how you feel instead. Are daily movements easier? Do you feel a bit stronger, steadier, or more energetic? Does recovery feel faster? Those signs matter far more than a number that doesn't tell the full story. So, if the scale goes up slightly, don't panic. Look in the mirror, notice your energy levels, and listen to your body. In most cases, this warning effect is simply your muscles responding exactly the way they should. Number 3, digestive discomfort if dosing is sloppy. Bloating, stomach cramps, or loose stools. This is one of the most common warning effects people notice when taking creatine, especially after age 50. And in most cases, it has nothing to do with creatine being bad for you. It usually means the dose is simply too high for your digestive system to handle comfortably. As we get older, digestion naturally slows down a bit. Your stomach empties more slowly, and your intestines can become more sensitive to large doses of supplements. So when someone over 50 suddenly starts taking big scoops of creatine, especially loading phases with 15-20 grams a day, the gut often pushes back. That's when bloating, cramping, or bathroom urgency shows up. The mistake many people make is assuming creatine doesn't agree with them and quitting altogether. But the real issue isn't creatine itself. It's how it's being taken. Your body doesn't need massive doses to benefit. In fact, smaller amounts work just as well over time. For most people, after 50, 3 to 5 grams per day is more than enough. Taking it with food, splitting the dose, or using a consistent daily routine can dramatically reduce stomach discomfort. Slow and steady wins here. This warning effect is really just your body asking for a gentler approach. Respect that signal, adjust the dose, and creatine becomes much easier to tolerate and far more sustainable long-term. Number 4, misunderstanding kidney lab results. This one causes the most fear, and honestly, the most misunderstanding. Creatine increases creatinine, which is a waste marker doctors commonly measure in blood tests. When people over 50 see that number go up, panic sets in. They assume it automatically means kidney damage. But here's the key point most people never hear. Higher creatinine does not automatically mean your kidneys are failing. It often just means there's more creatine circulating in your body, which is exactly what happens when you supplement. The real warning here isn't creatine itself. It's confusion and lack of communication. If you're taking creatine and don't tell your doctor, your lab results can look alarming out of context. That can lead to unnecessary stress, repeat testing, or even being told to stop something that's actually helping you. Transparency matters, especially after 50, when blood work is monitored more closely. For healthy adults without pre-existing kidney disease, decades of research show that creatine does not damage kidney function when taken at normal doses. Your kidneys are designed to filter creatinine every single day. As long as you stay hydrated and avoid excessive dosing, most people handle it just fine. The takeaway: don't hide supplements from your doctor, and don't jump to conclusions based on one lab number. Creatine isn't the villain here, misunderstanding is. When used responsibly and communicated clearly, creatine can be a helpful tool, not a kidney scare waiting to happen. Number 5. Expecting instant energy. Creatine isn't caffeine, and this is where a lot of people over 50 get confused. You don't take it once and suddenly feel energized, stronger, or sharper the next day. If that's what you're expecting, you'll probably think, this isn't doing anything, and stop taking it too soon. That's the real warning effect here. Unrealistic expectations. Creatine works quietly in the background. It builds up inside your muscles and cells over time, helping regenerate ATP, your body's main energy source. For most people, especially after 50, this process takes 1 to 3 weeks of consistent use. During that time, you might not feel anything dramatic, and that's normal. The problem is, many people quit right before the benefits start showing up. They miss out on improved strength, better endurance, easier movement, and even mental clarity simply because they expected instant results. After 50, your body adapts a bit more slowly than it did in your 20s or 30s, and patience matters more than ever. Think of creatine like planting a seed, not flipping a switch. You don't dig it up every few days to see if it's growing. You keep watering it and let it do its thing. When creatine finally saturates your muscles, that's when people start saying things like, I feel more stable, I recover faster, or daily tasks feel easier. So the real warning isn't that creatine doesn't work. It's giving up too early and never letting it work at all. Number 6, overconfidence in workouts. Here's a warning effect almost nobody mentions: overdoing it once you start feeling stronger. Creatine can noticeably improve strength, endurance, and workout performance, even after 50. And while that's a good thing, it can also create a sneaky problem. When muscles feel stronger and recover faster, it's tempting to increase weight, volume, or intensity too quickly. The body feels capable, but your joints, tendons, and ligaments may not be ready to catch up yet. After 50, connective tissues naturally take longer to adapt than muscle. Creatine helps muscles fire harder and hold more water, which can make movements feel easier almost overnight. But if you suddenly lift heavier, train longer, or skip rest days because you feel back in your prime. Joint soreness, stiffness, or tendon irritation can show up. This isn't because creatine is harming your joints, it's because your muscles are outpacing your support system. The real warning here is not pain itself, but ignoring it. Mild aches are signals, not weaknesses. Creatine works best when paired with smart progression, proper warm-ups, controlled increases in load, and enough recovery time. Mobility work, stretching, and rest days matter more than ever at this stage of life. Think of creatine as a performance enhancer, not a permission slip to rush the process. Used wisely, it helps you train better and safer. Used impatiently, it can trick you into doing more than your joints are ready for. Respect the pace, and creatine becomes a powerful ally instead of a setback. Number 7. Thinking creatine replaces movement. Creatine can be an incredibly useful supplement, especially after 50. But here's the part that often gets misunderstood. Creatine is powerful, but it's not magic. Taking it won't suddenly make you strong, energetic, or pain-free if your lifestyle stays completely inactive. This is one of the biggest warning effects people experience: unrealistic expectations. Some people start creatine hoping it will replace movement, walking, or light resistance training. When that doesn't happen, they assume creatine doesn't work, or blame it for feeling stiff or sore. The truth is, creatine is a support tool, not a shortcut. It helps your muscles produce energy, recover faster, and respond better to activity. But there has to be some activity to respond to. After 50, even simple movement matters. Daily walks, body weight exercises, light dumbbells, resistance bands, or basic mobility work are enough to unlock most of creatine's benefits. Without movement, creatine has nowhere to go, so to speak. Muscles that aren't being used won't fully take advantage of the extra energy creatine provides. The real danger isn't creatine itself. It's believing a supplement can do the work for you. That mindset leads to disappointment, wasted money, and missed opportunities to actually feel stronger and more capable. When creatine is paired with consistent, age-appropriate movement, it becomes a powerful ally for strength, balance, and everyday energy. Think of creatine like better fuel. Even the best fuel won't help if the engine never turns on. Start small, stay consistent, and let creatine support the movement your body still needs to thrive. So here's the real truth. Creatine after 50 isn't dangerous. Misunderstanding it is. When people run into problems, it's almost never because creatine itself is harmful. It's usually because they don't know how it works, how much to take, or what their body actually needs at this stage of life. Used the right way, creatine can be a powerful tool to support strength, daily energy, balance, recovery, and even brain health as you age. It helps your body do what it naturally struggles to do more efficiently after 50. But when creatine is used carelessly, taken in huge doses, paired with poor hydration, or expected to work like a miracle overnight, that's when frustration, discomfort, or confusion shows up. And unfortunately, those experiences are what fuel most of the fear around it. Knowledge is what makes the difference between benefits and bad experiences. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried creatine after 50? If yes, what did you notice? Good or bad? Or are you still on the fence because of something you've heard? And let me know what you want next. Should I make a follow-up video on the best dosage after 50, common side effects, or a simple beginner plan? Drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.